What's going on, everybody out there? Welcome to the 31 Days of Horror. I am your host, Mood616, and thank you once again for stopping in, guys. Yes, 31 Days of Horror, Volume 9, Day 2, coming at you live and direct. Alright, so we're going to take it all the way back to the 90s, specifically the year 1992. And this one was actually not on my radar when we were doing the prep for the Top 10 of 1992 show. I just wanted to do something from this box set. And lo and behold, there was actually one of the horror films, which, you know, this guy wrote a lot of different types of films. He wrote action films, you know, horrors and stuff like that. But there happened to be one from 1992, and I just kind of lucked out with that, so that got added into the prep also. But yeah, so the film in question here is a film called The Eye of Satan, and it's from 1992, and it's from this the complete Cliff Templow collection box set. Now, the interesting thing about Cliff Templow, he was a UK, basically he got into the film business by doing stunts and stuff. He was actually a bodybuilder. Like, he is super jacked. So he's this bodybuilder, gets into the film industry doing stunts. Then he becomes a writer. He became a composer. He became a producer. He pretty much did everything on film except for direct movies. So that's kind of the whole concept of this box set. It's films that he acted in, you know, he wrote, composed for, it did stunts for, and a lot of the films that he actually acted in, he did his own stunts and did compose and stuff. I was looking up some of the credits that he had done. He actually has uncredited music from Dawn of the Dead, which is really interesting. I thought that was really fascinating because I had no idea. I've always been very curious on this guy's work, because I'm very familiar with the BH film, Grievous Bodily Harm, which was like from 1983. It's one that he's pretty famous for doing. It's kind of where the cover art for this comes in. Yeah, so this film in question was directed by David Kent Watson, and he actually worked with that director quite a few times. He either acted in his films or wrote his films or produced his films and stuff like that. Yeah, so this particular one comes in 1992 and the latter part of his career. Now, I did a little bit of research on it because the copyrights on this film in the box set say 1987. I've seen copyrights from 1988, but everything else says 1992. So I'm thinking this film was probably shot in 87, 88, copyrighted then, and then released in 1992, which was right before he actually passed away from heart failure in 1993. So this one, he would have been probably in about his mid-50s when he did this. And that's kind of notable because he is fucking jacked. Like, absolutely jacked. For someone that's in his mid-50s, it's absolutely insanity. All right, so the Eye of Satan from 1992. This is an interesting film, actually. So it is shot on video. I'll just say that right out there. I'm not sure about all the work, but I do believe that a lot of the stuff that he was involved with was low budget, kind of shot on video stuff. And with that said, though, it is a lot better than you think it's going to be because it's shot on video. It's very high quality, very good filmmaking and stuff. So basically this one follows our main character, Kane, who's actually played by Cliff Templow here. He's like a mercenary who's just come over from Africa about 4 months earlier and stuff like that. The thing is with Kane is that he's like an occultist. You know, he is involved with like, you know, satanic stuff and voodoo and all this crazy stuff. He's got a partner that's a Black Panther and all this crazy shit. So he's out there doing dirty deeds and shit like that, killing off people, snapping people's necks and shit like that. That's how we get introduced to this character. The storytelling in this film is kind of all over the place. It's kind of interesting. But anyways, so we get introduced to this girl named Christine. She's dating this arms dealer who has been doing business with her father. And her father's actually like this shady businessman and stuff like that. And he kind of fucked this arms dealer out on this deal and shit like that. So the arms dealer kidnaps his girlfriend basically, and she ends up escaping. So with that, you know, her father's like, well, we need some protection for her because he's threatening to kill her if this guy doesn't pay up this $400,000 that he owes the dealer and stuff like that. So in comes Kane. So they hire on Kane to watch Christine. 5 minutes later, he's fucking her. It's absolutely ridiculous and stuff like that. So, but of course, he's protecting Christine, and he goes to do his job. He goes to collect this money, which he's been told that the arms dealer is, you know, the one fucking this guy. So he goes to collect this money and stuff like that, and he learns that he's been set up. And there's a reason there's a reason why he was being set up and stuff like that. So after that, all hell breaks loose. So yes, I know it sounds a little bit complicated because it kind of is. So that is the synopsis of the film. Now, my thoughts on this one? Yeah, so first up, thing I noticed with this film, I was taken back by it, actually. It's firstly shot really well. It's actually acted really well. It's got really nice transitions. There's like original music in it. There's like musical cues, and it's like, it sounds decent. Like everything about the film itself being shot on video is actually pretty well done. I was very impressed with this. I know the director, he had done a few things before this, so he'd obviously grown as a film director, and managed to actually create something pretty good. Yeah, so this one, it's a crazy fucking movie. It's really crazy. Like, so our main character, Kane. So like when I'm watching this film, I'm thinking to myself, I'm going, where the hell is the horror? But like you kind of see where the elements are. But it is like a straight up horror film. A lot of people would probably classify this as being a little bit more action before horror. But the core narrative of this film it revolves around Kane being an occultist and being possibly the main disciple of Satan and all this voodoo type shit that he's doing and stuff like that. Like it's pretty fucking horrific and stuff. It's funny because this guy's awesome, man. He just kills people by breaking necks and all this crazy shit. Now I love Cliff Templow as an actor because he must have taken the Terminator character and just been like, I'm gonna roll with that type of style, because he plays it dead serious. His role is dead serious. This movie has no comedy whatsoever. He kind of comes off as being the Terminator. Like, he's jacked as fuck. He says everything dead ass serious, and he's just like this crazy ass killing machine. It's absolutely hilarious. A lot of the dialogue in the film had me cracking up too, man. Like, there's like the scene where she gets introduced to Kane. She's at his house, and she's like, just straight up asks him, she's like, do you fuck? And he doesn't really answer, and then she's like, are you gay? I was like, what the fuck is with this dialogue? It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So they have this whole scene, and then he's like working out and shit, and he's all jacked. It's just crazy. But yeah, so the movie itself, the most shocking thing to me was the amount of story, the amount of plot that's in this movie. There's a lot of characters. There's a lot of subplots and things like that. There's Christine's father, his brother, I guess stepbrother's kind of involved with this whole thing like that too. There's this subplot where these cops are investigating these murders of these two guys that were duck hunting, and they chalk it up to like this voodoo cultist and stuff, which, of course, Kane is responsible for that because, he's an animal lover, with the Black Panther and stuff like that. And there's just all these crazy fucking story elements to this movie. It's very unconventional film telling. Like, in the first 20 minutes of the film, I'm like, holy shit, dude, my head was fucking spinning. I'm like, this is wild, like how quick everything's moving and how much dialogue, but it's all like super entertaining and shit. I'm like, this is pretty wild. It only runs 79 minutes, so there's like no downtime whatsoever. Every scene that Kane is in, he kind of steals it though, man, because like I said, he's playing his role dead ass serious. Every line that he spits is just, it's pure hilarity. Some of the music cues that they do in this film are so funny too. In that one like kind of horrific music cue comes in, like some shit's going down and stuff. There's a couple really cheesy moments. So the score overall is actually pretty funny. But I've got to say though, I had a fucking blast with this movie. It is honestly one of the funnest movies I've watched in a long time. Again, if you're not a big shot on video film fan, I will say it's highly recommended, even to people that aren't big shot on video film, because it is truly good filmmaking. It's actually truly good filmmaking. The acting was really solid. Like I said, the transitions, the cinematography, it's not just like stoic shots and stuff. Like, there's panning shots and like, it's real filmmaking. It's just done on video. The stunts and the fight scenes and stuff aren't overly the greatest. It's not like some of the editing, those things are, it's probably just the way, because it's so low budget, right? You can only do so much, so you kind of edit to your budget kind of thing too. But it does a decent job for what it's trying to do. It's not overly gory. It's got cheesy effects like, with Kane's eyes, because, he's like the spawn of Satan, basically. He's got these fucking green eyes that glow, and then, shit's going down. It's pretty cheesy, but it's fun. And then the whole third act of this movie just had me rolling, dude. Like, what happens is truly funny as hell. I smiled so much during watching this. I thought it was just a fucking blast. I can't actually wait to check out more of this director's films and more stuff that Cliff Templow did, because honestly, dude, the guy kind of took me off. It kind of caught me off guard a little bit. I wasn't expecting this at all. So yeah, really highly enjoyable stuff, man. Really good stuff. So I'm gonna, based on a shot on video scale, I'm gonna give this one an 8 out of 10. It was maybe even like an 8.5. It was really well done, really well done. And yeah, if you're on the fence about this box set and stuff, That was a good start. That was a good start. I know it's one of the later films, obviously, because, you know, his filmography goes from, you know, late 70 or 80. I think at the early 80s. It's like basically all through the 80s. I'm not sure how many films are actually on this. It says 11 feature films and yeah, and a documentary and stuff. So very interesting. I'm actually really curious to watch that documentary because the limited research that I did, I was fascinated by this guy, that he wasn't a director. I thought it was a director box set. It's not. He just does everything else. Pretty crazy stuff. So, but yeah. The Eye of Satan, man, from 1992. 8.5 out of 10. Doesn't really matter. Ratings for dummies, so. But yeah, really glad I checked out. That just fell out of there. But anyways, yeah. So that's going to conclude day 2 here on the 31 Days of Horror. I'll be back tomorrow with day 3. And we got a very, very special one lined up for tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, I think that's all I have on Eye of Satan, man. I just check it out. Check it out. It's really damn fun. So I'm sure you can probably find it on streaming or whatever if you don't want to pick up the box set. It's probably, if it's not up your alley. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it. Check you guys tomorrow on day 3. And as usual, deuces. The fucking shit fell right out of there.